Mic on? Okay, ooh, that was weird. Okay. It like reset it to like default in the Streamlabs, so because of all times, you know, it's gotta break like that. Welcome. Good thing we did a mic check. Let's see that. Yes. Okay. Now I see myself as talking. Good. Okay. Hi guys. I have had a weird last week. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm just getting everything set up. Yeah. Hello, hello. Welcome. Making sure everything's good on my end. Okay. I think I'm good. Okay, let's get going. Alrighty, let me load in my frames here. Hello. Sure everything's going good. Alrighty. Hi. Hello. Hi, Star Cookie. Rhyme. Hello. Buttercup and Flary. Welcome. Flary probably won't be doing too much music. Specifically, really today. That's not quite the focus today. But yeah, I guess everyone on. We're going to be working more on post-production, so that's kind of like combining everything together. So, in a typical studio, the pipeline is broken up into like 3 different acts or 3 different little sections. Hello, Elijah. Welcome. There's pre-production, production, and post-production. So, we did the pre-production, where we did the script and storyboard and dot of ideas and like, what if it'll look like this, or what about this? You know, coming up with all the ideas and stuff. And then production was making it, saying, I'm going to work on this now and work on the actual assets and different pieces and different parts of it. So that takes a while. And then post-production is then combining everything that you made into one cohesive little tight video. So even though I just animated it, you know, and did everything and did music and everything, I have to still like combine it together into one actual file. So to do that, I'm using Adobe Premiere. Premiere is like the easier, kind of like lighter weight kind of video production kind of a thing. So it's able to combine all the different pieces and parts that we've been making. So let's see here. Let me just see what we got so far, then I'm also going to type in to the chat to say whether the music's too loud or not. Probably is, but we'll see. That looks really loud. Let me know if the music is too quiet or loud. Okay. Hi, Sasha. Let me pin this. Beep. Okay. That was it. There we go. So that's what we got. So obviously we already combined the music and visuals already, but I think we can just add a couple more like sound effects and extra little flavor wins, you know. Let's see. I turned it down a little bit. Let me just get it down just a snag. Because I want it to be comfortable for my end as well. So if it's like too loud on my end, how I hear it, then let me know. Okay. So let's break this down. What do we want? I'm gonna make some markers just so I know when the scene breaks are first. How about now? Music doesn't need anything else. I think it's pretty good. The music's just has enough to it that if we add like too many more things, it'll seem like overbearing and just like way too much going on. And the music kind of carries its own weight. It pulls its own weight around as well, so. Just like a a little cheek spasm there. That's fun. Let's see. I think we can add like very minimal stuff, but I just wanted to like finish out and like round out the entire video production cycle, you know. I know there won't be like too much to do, so I was thinking of even if we finish this on time or earlier, I was thinking of doing more stuff. Oh, a purple toast. Welcome. Thanks. Let's see. So I think I wanted to add some sort of skating sound effect. I wanted to add some sound effects at least to have at least something a little bit, because otherwise it sounds nothing like a weird void. So the easy way to do that is to see if you need sound effects is to remove the music and then see what that looks like. Definitely we'll need something there. So let me open my see what we got here. Got a whole bunch of stuff. Let me just kind of warp over there. I think I actually have some in my different one, but this is my Paper Mario folder. It's kind of messed up a little bit. There you go. So I downloaded this 1000 sound effect folder a while ago, like years ago. So I started to like kind of ship at it to kind of relabel some of these because obviously they're old numbers. So I started to eventually there's thousands of them. These are Paper Mario Doesn't Your Door sound effects. So I started to like find out some little sounds and words and like try to figure out like what are these and trying to say like, oh, here's a curtain. What does that sound like? That's a curtain in Doesn't Your Door. Let's see. So there's like thousands of sound here. There's a bunch here. I started doing like Mario's and stuff. Make sure that everything's here. Oh, minty fresh. Welcome. Thank you. Let's see. So yeah, there's not much here. I think I'm gonna actually open up a new file explorer so I can just open this up on my own. Nope, that's the wrong way to put that over there. Oh well. I wanted to like hide some spoilers from you, so that was wrong. Oh well. I don't think there was much in there anyway. I wanted to open my got an email. Thank you. Derpy movie folder, chapter 3. Chapter 3 was the city. I think I have some sounds in here, so fully. Sound effects. Maybe chapter 4. Let's try chapter 4. That was the second part of the city. Let's close that for now. Okay. So I have some here. Let's see. This is chapter 4 stuff, so that's fine. I wanted skate jump. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like a skateboard, right? That's. I think that's for like an actual video that I downloaded, so it's a little bit different. Let's see. I forget some of these are, but I think I wanted this one specifically, so I can just like drag it and put it into Premiere, let it load it in, and then place it into here, and then we'll be good. Just to make it feel like less than a silent movie, just like add at least something. Yeah, so that's gonna be pretty good for now, and then I can always edit it up a little bit more. So I can try to sync this together to be a little bit, so when she stops, I can like see the waveform of the audio here and just kind of move that over. Yeah. Maybe make it a little bit longer, so I'm gonna change the duration of this to be a little bit slower. Let me just add another marker to see. I want this to, what color is she? Kind of say stop, so it's around there. Kind of make it like one frame earlier. And we'll see how it is. Good night. Okay. Good night, Ryan. Thank you. Hope this was still entertaining for you. The VOD will be up, and for everyone else who wants to like watch Anything that they missed will always be on the channel. Obviously, we would probably like either do it better fully, but I think this will get us halfway or like most of the way there. Yeah. So I can like keep like editing the sound effect itself and like try to cut it up or figure out like what's going on here. Maybe like cut this into 2 parts and then make this go over a little bit lower. Like make it even be like 75 slower. Make this part faster. I separated them, so now I can make this little section over here faster. Premiere is actually glitching a little bit, so that's on my end. That's what I hear. So it probably just ends very abruptly, so around, I need to end the sound like around there-ish. Yeah. So you can see like you can just keep editing individual pieces and individual parts to like mold one sound that didn't quite fit at all, really. Even if we timed it pretty closely, we can just keep iterating on it. To like make it, I'm gonna put this down a little bit and go back a little bit more. Make this part speed up a little bit. 85. So what I'm doing is I'm changing the speed and duration and the speed percent of the original. So I want it to be a little bit faster. So I want the original speed is 100%. So by making it close to 100 will make it faster. Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry, Cookie. That's bad to hear. Okay. Yeah, rest up. That just gets us like more than halfway there. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. Let me just move these over a little bit. See what else I can do here. Let's see. I know what you mean. Unless you want to literally just go ahead and do some real skateboarding sounds or just rollerblading. We can add more like dirt sound, maybe? Paper Mario. I don't know if there's too much. I don't have much of that. I think I have some rubble or something. No. Rubber band. What would it be? I was just doing this all today. Now I'm blanking out on it. Bye, Cookie. I have some other ones. Land. Gravel. That's what it's called. That's gravel. I don't think that'll really help, though. That might help it sell it be more, less road and more gravelly, I guess. So we can always just keep layering on top. That's why we got a whole bunch of extra layers here. So I might even have to add a new track just so I can fit them all. Let's see. Wrong expression. Hello. Hi, cartoons. Welcome. I'm going to add my land gravel hard and put that around here. So it'll be like it's somewhere around here. Let's make this a little bit slower, actually. Yeah, that just adds like that nice crunch to it, I think. Okay, and then we could just play with the intensity or the volume. So we're going to add mix between the music and probably like, I think it already it's already pretty set up to like be already fade in. That's what I'm saying. Trying to say it fades in already, so I don't have to do too much, but at least I can add a little bit in here. Maybe just add a -5% for a value. I just said -50 is usually the you can't hear it at all kind of. And then right about once we get to here, we can have it start to then be at a keyframe. So now it'll be constant between -50 to 50 here, get up to 10, and then once we see here, then we go back into 0. So like that'll start to fade into it. Okay. And it's already set up to actually be left to right ear channel. I don't know if you can hear it or if it's somehow being stereo. Let's test that real quick. If I set this to be pan 100% right, what does that sound like? That's pretty wild. I think I just rebalanced it, but I like it to be start from the left ear, so it has stereo, so you can like hear it from your left ear going into your right ear, which is what's happening on screen. So I like doing stuff like that as well as having actual spatial sound as well. Hello, Mithroark. Mithrodak. So let's see. I think I set this to be, what is this? It's already -10 here. So this one also needs to be -10, or at least just have it be like -8-ish. Making this one too loud. Let's make it like -5. This part's too loud, the gravel hitting. So let's just also set that up. Okay. So that's just like one sound effect, but we split it into like 4 different pieces and like edited everything part of it. If it didn't have the left to right stereo speaker, I would probably also add that in as well. So it adds like 1% more stuff, but it makes it more realistic and everything. So I kind of like that. Let me make sure my actual email's okay. Okay, cool. I don't have a sound for when the rock falls, so it's supposed to like impact here. Beep. So let's add that in. We have the do, but we don't have like a nice, you know, kind of like crackly thing. We actually maybe use the same gravel kind of thing here. Maybe like mix this with another like cartoony sound effect. So I might just like make this part of the ambiance by making it really quiet. But already that sort of makes it feel more. It's a weird balance of like, well, you're making a cartoon and, you know, I don't have any dialogue. So it is basically, there was no mics on set, you know, kind of thing, like shooting a silent film. So it's kind of this weird, like, how much sound should I add and how realistic or cartoony should I get it to be? And that's all my interpretation of saying like, well, either this can be a realistic crunch, you know, hitting the ground sound, or it could be one of my Paper Mario sound effects where it's kind of like a bounce or something. You know, it could just sound like that or something. I don't know. All these weirder, cartoony, spongy ones. Add that in, and then it creates a completely different interpretation of what you think this object is. So sound effects are very important to not only like ground it in more, you know, quote, realism, but also to distinguish and identify what we think of as the objects themselves. So it's a lot of pressure when doing this to add sound effects. It's this whole extra process that I do to make sure that these actually fit as well as I can, you know, with being realistic, but also having fun with it. So I might add in a couple weirder ones. I think one of my favorite ones, I called it like enemy something land, enemy hit soft, I called it. That's like one of my favorites. That's more like when like Derpy like hits the ground really hard, or yeah, just falls or has an impact or something. It's always a little like weird, fun, squishy sound. It's like to soften the blow when something like, if like a door slams in her face, but then you add this sound effect. It's like, oh, maybe she's okay. Like you don't have this huge like metal door kind of like intense sound or anything. It's just like a little nice. Oh, it's kind of squishy. No, these other ones as well. I like Blob. Yeah, I named all these that are here. So these are my old weird file conventions. Always have to remember what I'm doing. Okay, rock fall. I don't think I have. Ground's not really a thing I got. I got more of a land. That's what I called them. I think I did these ones. That's where I found gravel. I use this one for like when a horse falls, because it sounds like there's like 2 sets of like a doodle really fast. Something like that almost. See what else we got. Go away. I'm not searching. Stomp. Yeah, some of these are like really weird and cartoony and squishy sound. Do something heavy. Door, fabric. That's fabric. Maybe something. Yeah, it depends on what we exactly want. Like, I think I got some Tink Hollow. Yeah. Ooh. Depends on what we want the rock to be made out of and what we want the surface to be. We already kind of figured out the surface is going to be some gravel or sand or something. I think what my usual like catch-all for a lot of this is grass. One of these. I use grass a lot, even if it's like I have like a part in a couple chapters where like Derpy like puts her like she grabs her hat and like kind of pulls on her hat or something, and I like use one of these, but like I speed it up, and it just I don't know made sense to me. It's like use one of these grass rustles, but then kind of use it in a different context, you know. Even though if I label all these to be exactly what this sort of like implies, it's like, yeah, you can still kind of have fun with it and be like Foley, where you might use a celery and then kind of crack it, and it's like, whoa, that's a bone cracking. You didn't really crack a bone, you cracked a celery, but they kind of do the same kind of sound effect, or like the sound of it. So, you know, there's no like real world realistic for magical horse Pegasus pulling a hat down. You know, I have to like get creative with a lot of these things, you know. I think some of these I use. Yeah, I think I use that one a lot. That one sounds familiar. I like using this one. I'm just gonna put it in and see what that sounds like with the line it up. Let's put this one back to frame. Excuse me, that was me. I think that works together. Which one do I want to make? Louder, quieter, and other stuff I want to do? Let's see. Is the gravel hard enough or loud enough? I think that's mixed pretty good. I don't think I would add too much more. I think I make the grass like slightly faster. Because like the actual speed of what happens is that it's on the ground for like 1 frame. So to have it like have the sound exist for like that longer is a bit weird, so I might just like make it a little bit faster. Maybe just make this one a little bit faster too, just a bit. It's also changing the pitch, or how high or low it is. So as I make it faster, it actually gets higher in pitch. So I have to be worried about that as well, and see whether or not that's also a creative decision to think, like, do I want it to actually be a higher pitch, and like, does it sound better, or there's an option to maintain the pitch. So let's see, gravel, grass. I think I want to make the gravel maintain audio pitch. Let's see what that sounds like. I think the gravel's a little bit loud. Grass is too long. It's weird. Nope. Whatever. Should be back here. And then there's a little trick, like when I do with animation as well, or what am I saying? When doing like sound effects for animation and lip sync, you want to have like one of them like 1 frame earlier. It's like thunder and lightning. I think of is that you would see lightning, and then the sound vibrations eventually get to your ears, and then you hear it. So it's actually weirdly reversed when you do lip sync. Is that you want to actually, let's see, I want to get this right, so let me make sure. When I do lip syncs, I like to have the lip flap open first, and then a frame later or so you would hear that sound, just to make sure like when it gets synced on a video, you actually get it to be it doesn't seem like the lip flap visual is late, and it's okay if the lip flap's early, because then it's like, oh, it'll eventually appear, or maybe the character is getting their mouth ready to then speak their line. Because if you have your character mouth close, you know, these are like microseconds and like frames and stuff, so it's kind of like these very, very small time divisions, you know. So it's kind of like whether or not it's a frame on or off is a little persnickety to like think about it, but it just helps to like make sure that you hear. When doing the like sound effects, I like having the sound effect a frame earlier than you see it, because like it's supposed to like hit the ground first and then you hear it, you would think, but having it 1 frame earlier kind of sells it a little bit better, rather than saying that just feels off. You're like on the beat, feels a little bit off, so just make sure like it's fun. It's a little bit better to have it be 1 frame early, but lip sync is good to have it be lip sync 1 frame earlier than sound, but sound effects are 1 frame earlier than visuals. I don't know. Probably better at the same time. There you go. Okay. Let's see. Do we want to add any? Do I have anything first for something like this, or is this good for? I think that's pretty good. nothing really happens. It is only going to be, the only thing that would make sound in this scene would be the little twinkles themselves, you know? So, and we pretty much have that almost pretty set with the music itself is like, is already kind of twinkly and doing most of the heavy lifting. That's why I'm saying like most of the heavy lifting is with the music. So, but for like big hits and like big actions and mechanical things that music can't exactly replicate perfectly, like a machine, you can't really have a kazoo really make that sound believable. Rather just using a mechanical sound. So, to be like literal, I would say, to have a literal sound for mechanical stuff and other stuff like these falls and stuff to make them sound correct, realistic. If you want to go realistic, then it would need to be using like actual sound effects. But for fun interpretation, Fantasia style stuff, then it's like, yeah, that's fine to have it be whatever you want there. But for this, I want it to be have some sort of realistic-y sound for that moment. I'm gonna leave it that. And then I think most of the heavy lifting is also done with the music as well. Because the way that we planned it out, I think, was that we just had most of the big points and big impacts be key moments orchestrated. So there wasn't much more left to add it in, unless we like double up on the sound, which then covers up the music. So it's kind of like that weird balance of also making sure that don't actually cover up your own hard work. Because we got that. It feels actually a little bit later. Probably I want this to be one thingy later, but I guess it's okay. It's still there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's just cut that down and wanna, as it fades out, let's see where it fades out, go back a couple. Let's add a fade out to the music. So I have the music line, follow to where it goes full black, and then cut it to be -50. There, so now it fades out. Okay. Yeah, I knew there wasn't going to be too much here, so let's just see what we got. Hopefully it'll play good. Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't too much more to add on to it, so I feel like that's pretty good. Anything from you guys you think it might need something else? I could play it one more time if you need it. I think the skateboard, well, whatever. We'll yeah. I think that's pretty good. It's definitely pretty light on what we needed to do, so there wasn't much more than just adding a couple things there and just kind of playing around with what I have, you know, to get that all going. If we're all happy with this, I can actually show you off more post-production stuff, I guess. Let's see. I am working really hard on my movie, so I'm actually really trying to get it done for tomorrow morning. So I'm really, I've been doing some major marathons to like try and work. I worked over the weekend definitely, and worked like 10-hour days. I think it's not awesome. Working 10-hour days each day over the weekend, so trying to get the chapter 5 done. Working so hard on it. I'm in this kind of section of the video for chapter 5, so I'm pretty happy with that. There was like a couple, today there was a couple small animation stuff that I had to do for one shot, and I've been working on the sound effects and the music, so trying to get that ready, and then once this is, yeah, the next step of this would be to just export it as a video and then watch it a couple times and be really, really double checking like every frame and everything that you've, put in here. Make sure that every single sound effect and music cue is synced right and every animation stuff is okay, no animation errors and stuff. And then usually what I do is find a couple things. Find like maybe like a handful of stuff, or like say like, oh, this could be like 1 degree different, or change this, or make very minor marginal stuff, and then check them, go into Premiere again and change anything, and then export it again and do that over and over until I'm 100% satisfied with the result, and then I upload it. Some stuff does kind of go through the cracks, mostly because I've been doing this single-handedly, so I don't really have a reviewer or like a different set of eyes really to look at it and say like, hey, does this even work right? Does this look right or everything? I did have some help from my dad. He helped me with level section, with some motions that's like, yeah, does this look good? He's like, no, you did this completely upside down and reversed, and it's like, wow. Because I even like was so confused with like how this was supposed to work that I watched a couple of YouTube videos of like, how do you do this, or like what's the correct way of doing this, and I watched videos and everything, and then started animating it, and then I was like, this doesn't seem right, and so I had my dad check it, and he's like, yeah, you're not supposed to like do it this way. And it's like, oh, I see. So he gave me some good pointers. So there might be stuff like, hopefully not as bad as that in other areas, but we'll see. So I'm checking it now and adding the final stuff. So I hope to work the rest of today. Hopefully not the rest of the morning. And get that going and get that done. Let me get some water here. And then, let's see, I could probably open up one of the older chapters. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Is that like the Gartic phone, like the Jackbox games? I think that'd be interesting. Definitely not in my immediate schedule that I've thought of. Let's see. Let me just go to hang on screen, and then I'll open one of my older chapters. How about that? Derpy movie prologue part 1. Let's see. Open it up. Oh, that's a chunky file. And must be converted. Whatever. Ooh, found its error. Interesting. Oh. Okay, so this is the first chapter. This is the prologue for the movie. Just wanted to show like how much more work is goes into a longer episode or longer video. Because obviously it's the same kind of rules and everything, but just wanted to explain some more sound effects and kind of see what you get for like more involved kind of a video. But let's see. Price Part 2 for single player. I've definitely heard and seen those games. Yeah, I'm not quite a Let's Player, I guess. To just go out of my way and just start playing video games, I guess. Even if they're art games, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely not on my immediate docket, but maybe once I like start to like run out of those ones, I'll start considering those ones. Yeah. Let's go to the beginning. What do we got? See what I even did for some of this stuff. Oh, that's when I added like a very, very small like droplet sound. Forgot about that. I just lowered the resolution just so I can actually play right. I don't think I do this anymore. I think for the later ones I just leave it to be just the music intro. Yeah, I actually forgot about that. Maybe I'll add it into this one and be like a retain some continuity. But yeah, I forgot about that. Let's see. Yeah, it gets for like a YouTube stream or something. Yeah, that was like a weird like experiment. That was my mom's idea. It was actually to make a Let's Play channel. So yeah, I wasn't I was on board, but yeah, it more became like a involved like post-production slog to get through all of that. For every video was huge amount of I'm gonna turn it down just a bit. Huge amount of work to edit it. Like it took like 2 or 3 times as long to edit the video than recording it. So it became like this huge like slog to like, okay, I have to not only I was making so many videos monthly at the time as well that I couldn't also do both. Let's see. So yeah, it's all on different tracks where the each sound is a different track, and again, anything that's music would be usually combined with that. I think I've done more elaborate stuff in later episodes, later chapters. Let's see. Yeah, I appreciate it. You're just not exactly. I don't think I have the right strong enough audience to get anything really fun with that. That's true, yeah. It's interesting to see like just how much is either music or sound effect. Like there's no footsteps here, but it gets complicated. That's a sound effect there. Another sound effect, yeah. I forgot all about this. I haven't watched this in a while. I have the entire... Let me make sure you guys can hear me. I have the entire story written out. So this is like a huge spoiler, I guess, to like see any of this and like go, oh yeah. She's supposed to get on the train and then get on the boat to get to the windmill on the other side. So this is not quite... Could have been better. Probably had colors or something. But yeah, this is the Equestria. She goes on a boat. I guess kind of helps to show that it's the water, and then get to the other side to get to the windmill. Don't worry about that. It's just the other castle, or whatever. It's the snake castle on the mongoose windmill. But yeah, at the time, it's like I was like publishing this and like, oh, it's chapter 1, and it's like, ooh, that's right. This is supposed to be part of one huge video. You know, watch the whole movie, and you're not really supposed to remember this by the end. Or this is supposed to like come up and go, oh yeah. Like you're supposed to remember this part and go, oh yeah, this is the entire trip. So it's kind of like, well, yeah. It's spoilers, but it's yeah. At the time, it's like chapter 2 would be like, oh, here's the train, and then if you went back to this one and go, oh look, the train, and then you see at the end of the city, it's like, whoops, there's the boat. So it's like, oh yeah, now you're gonna go here. Yeah. I think this is the, yeah, it's the Stargate, or the Crystal Stargate sound effect from Paper Mario. I was very loose with just using these sounds, but I guess this keeps going for a while. Yeah, so I cut it off after a while. Like this goes on for... Alright, I faded it out. So if I get rid of these ones as well, then it should just go on for a little bit longer. That's a bit long, so I had to like cut it down like that to there. I'm also noticing that the because I made the animation in Flash, there was no like Blender involvement yet. That these are basically the entire Flash file, and like this is the entire minute of Flash animation, just like exported as a video and just said plop, you know. Now these would be, every single shot would be the Blender export, and every single shot would be a separate element. So it's kind of fun to like look back and go, oh yeah, this was just one huge flaw file and just like plopped it there and done, you know. Because I'm like really exploding myself to like do every single shot has to be 3D now. A completely different like file. It's supposed to be huge of a lot more stuff and all these stuff here. So yeah, each of these are these numbers are also each Flash file name. So these are here's the intro, then Wake Mission is the I divided the entire, I had the entire storyboard as one file, and then I split up the entire story into little sections, so like each kind of like subsection of the movie. So it kind of like has different like breaks or different acts or different segments, and so I like split it up into different sections. So eventually we get to part 3, which it's just like so I can have like the Flash files be a little bit smaller and contain it into just be just this little section of the story. So yeah, so eventually we get into like 7 when I'm in chapter 5 or something. I start like combining, so this is like combining 3 different Flash files together into one video essentially. So yeah. So I wanted to, for chapter 5, I wanted to include like the next subsection, but it was gonna be another minute or so, and include entire new assets and entire new set and everything. So I was like, I have 2 minutes, let's just kind of end it there. Yeah. I want to go back and George Lucas this entire movie. This, just looking at this part in this entire like chapter 1, there's like 100 things I want to fix. This is when I was like way back when was like I made these assets and backgrounds for other videos, and it's like wasn't making unique assets, and I think the house is unique, but even then it's not that great. So yeah, this is like one of Applejack's kitchen or something, and it's completely out of I feel it's completely out of place. Yeah, I changed the sky. Yeah. Well, a lot of this is like, man, I want to make unique stuff and maybe have this be a 3D background or something, I feel like I could do a lot more 3D stuff and make this feel more better or something. But also at the same time, it's like I know that I had this weird thing of that her world is expanding as she goes, going to new places, so it's like expanding the entire depth of her environment as well, that she feels safe in her 2D world, and then eventually it becomes 3D and things get out of whack. Like the first 3D shot is actually in part 2, where the snakes first arrive, and it's like that's when that first conflict happens. Yeah. Complete Paper Mario. Yeah. It's so flat. Yay. so rough. Linear card. Okay. I don't have time to go through the rest of the 4, but you kind of get the idea. I can show like the last one, chapter 4. Part 4. Let's see. Can't find that. Yeah, I'll find. Oh, sound effect was moved. Oh well. It'll still work. Here's chapter 4. So already you kind of see that the evolution of post-production got a little bit more complex. I have a lot more lines now, a lot more, these are called tracks. So different tracks, like a lot more audio tracks, a lot more involvement and stuff. So actually on the top here is the storyboard, I think. So let's see, if I like open this up, it should be, yeah, all of my weird, if I saw this, you can kind of see all the weird production side of this. This is the flaw file of how this was set up. All the weird storyboards with the Flash characters on top. Because I knew that they don't really have to move in 2D space. You know, like Derpy's supposed to be flying around and doing all these actions and flipping around and everything. But the Flash asset doesn't really need to do that because I'm going to be animating them in 3D by moving them in space. So it's kind of like, well, I don't really need to actually animate her. Actually doing those actions as much as just having her, you know, like this action is 3D animated in a sense that the keyframes are actually interpolated inside of 3D space. So I did weird smart things like that where it's like I'm not going to actually have her in 2D space, move her 2D asset over and then do the flip and everything and hope that it lines well in 3D rather than I could just have her go through her expressions and motions in 2D and then physically move her around in 3D space kind of a thing. So like there's like not many 3D assets. I use this bike as a reference for my 3D model. So that bike's not used. There's so many like little things like that that I added. Oh, even this little zip pan, this little zip effect, it's its own asset. So this own little thing going zhoosh for a couple frames. That's when I started getting like way more ambitious with my cartoon. Hello, Applejack Love. Welcome. I'm going over my my previous chapter, so don't worry about spoilers for chapter 5 unless I slip somewhere. Just going over the production, post-production, and everything here of chapter 4. Yeah, so this flip is all 3D animated. Where like in Flash, it just kind of doesn't really do anything. Yeah, it just kind of flips around. But in 3D it goes whoosh. So just frames like that, where it's like weird and flipped. Yeah. A lot more intense audio work here. Little slide kick. I think this is either one big sound effect, or how did this work? Was it just like fast? Dry bones rattle apparently. It's about the same. I just had to be over a couple times, then like speeds up. So yeah, it's a combination of having a sound effect of the trash can hit, as well as an audio or a music cue, I guess, at the same time. So there's like a orchestration hit as well as a realistic hit of the trash can. Plus on the visuals you have this impact that's a 2D element that's being superimposed between everything, I guess. It's actually in 3D space, but it's just a 2D element, as well as like how the characters are as well. So and it all falls out. And that was fun. This, at the bottom green here, is one of those custom loops that I was talking about, where it has, kind of goes on for a while, and it's this, what is this actually? I forgot. Yeah, so it's a trash can sound effect. So I added like two different trash can roll 2 and trash can roll 1. So they're laid on top of each other. One of them is that kind of rattly kind of sound, and this one's the like when stuff inside of there is like hitting. So those are like different like hits and bangs of the trash can. If it's like hitting something that's inside of there being hit, or like it's hitting the ground. So this is also made up of a whole bunch of different. I think I made this in not Audacity, the Adobe Audacity. What is it? Audition or something? What is it? AU? Who knows what Audition. So I probably made this in Audition and made combined these are different sound effects, each in their own, combined it into this one, and then combined it with this other rattle sound effect. And I made this loop where it just kind of does this over and over. But I made the like bang one, the top one, have different random use of it, so it changes each time. So if you combine it with the other one, that's kind of like this. It's almost like a symbol that kind of is on 16s or something. Let's see. Bye, Sasha. Hi, Hunter. So yeah, that's like continuously going at the bottom here. So that's like the trash can sound. So that's like in the back, and like always being used and stuff. That's some keyframes. I'm honestly not gonna be able to remember what I did here. These look like pans. So pan is left and right stereo. So if I like add a keyframe to make it like right now be left ear. Yeah. At least on my end, I heard that stereo. I don't know if it's working on your end. But on mine, it was like, that's in my left ear kind of a sound. Yeah. So because I already have like this trash can sound effect already just going on its own, basically, there's not much more I had to think about it and just kind of just letting it go. And then whenever there's a new thing that happens, add in the symbol sound effect plus a, whatever this is. Paper transform, apparently. And then like there's, in paper art, when like you transform into a different transformation. Yeah. So that's kind of like the flipping of like the Derpy flipping around in 3D with the newspaper. Newspaper was also like set into different pieces. I think it's 2D here, and then I use that asset to then create a 3D version. So it swaps here in this frame from being a 2D asset within the character to then be a 3D asset that then flips around and has different pages on it as well. So there's like 3 pages that then are being flipped around as well. And then this is actually a 2D, all 2D. There's no Blender 3D animation at all with these kind of segments, because I don't have to make a, I wanted to feel very static, and you just only like get those anime whoosh lines or something. So I keep swapping back and forth between 3D and 2D and just like all these different extra things, and have a mix down. That sounds like Audition. It has all these different these loops that have like multiple sound effects to them, and then you apply them with more to them, and you get more bang for your buck by having all these going at the same time. Along with the music, is also having that little xylophone that matches what's going on by having to go up and down. So it's very involved. Like there's a lot more thinking and like to make this kind of really go. There's like so many elements that are going on. That's just like just the visuals, and like this little box, you know, here contains like 100 different assets for the, like the visuals and assets and stuff that's going on here. That's being comprised into like one little element here, but and then music, and then all these sound effects and all these layers of sound effects, and combining it and make it into something that's hopefully okay by the end. That's a good frame. And then we switch back to 2D again with these kind of shots. Okay. Thank you, Star. I'm gonna probably just finish this because there's not much more. I feel like I might as well just kind of finish this at this point. I should save post-production stuff, but it's kind of... I don't know, I wanted the ice cream. I was like the Sonic and like those Gumball Eye ones, so like the SpongeBob, you know. I wanted that. But of course, beat Twilight. Get her one cameo in the whole movie. I'm not gonna add her anywhere else. Let's see what this is. I have an ice cream. Whop. Oh yeah, I hear it. It's the it's the ice cream like dripping off really fast off her face, making it like a little bit asymmetrical, so it creates this more. And just make it really quiet. This is actually split up to different layers in Premiere, where I have different elements. I should say I have Derpy actually on a different layer, and then this is the 3D. So I have to like export just this in Blender, and then get that. But then I also have Derpy as a separate layer. So it's just her. I did this so I can have better blurring. The Blender blurring effects or depth of field would create this like weird outline that was like really like weird and not as, you know, good looking, I guess. So I just kind of had to like, I did have Derpy in 3D, and I did have it here, and I did export it like this with the depth of field, and kind of figured out what that kind of looked like, and it's like, that doesn't look great. So I had to go in and like split it up and have, I think I just had Derpy just be the flash elements and just have a picture here, and then kind of mashed it up with the animation of where she kind of is throughout the shot. So it's not quite exporting it directly from the Blender and having it be that version. I made a new version of Derpy and then animated that to match what happens in the shot as well. So, and then this is also superposed on top because it's a little bit easier to have these kind of screen effects be perfectly aligned if you just export them from 2D and export it to be just this, and then just put it on top, and that's the storyboard. So yeah, you kind of see a little bit more of the boat there than where you see here. It's a little bit lower. Oh well. Music's ramping up. Oh, not bad. So now we're getting into the it's a familiar sight for me, this boat. I've been working on this boat for like several months. Yeah. So they got their disguises to get on the boat. This is a 2D shot, to mean that everything here is 2D. And then back to 3D. It was fun to mix and match. That the surfboard is 3D, the character is 2D, this umbrella is 3D. Basically everything that's not the character is characters are 2D, environments and everything are 3D. Lighthouse is 2D, mountain hill thing is 3D. There's like a little sandcastle that's 2D. Character 2D. There's a little tiny character back here that's 2D. This is 3D. Environment's 3D. That's 3D. Environment back here is also a fun skybox. Clouds are 2D. So they're just like little cars that I had to like place in depth and arrange them. So a little bit easier to have a 3D trash can go over a 3D surfboard than try to match up with the right perspective in 2D for both of these. So, and animate it pretty nicely, like that. Add some nice little bounce to them. I've redesigned the boat a little bit, so it doesn't quite look exactly like this anymore. So when I do my final movie and do my final, like, put it all together as one huge video as a movie, I'll have to George Lucas and have to definitely go back and make sure that all my weird continuity stuff that I've kind of broken each time will have to be kind of fixed. This was really fun. This is also going to be in part 5, so that's kind of fun. But I was able to reuse this background here. Now, you only see this background in this part for like 5 seconds, but then in the part 5 you get to see it for maybe 15. Whoa! Spoilers! Thought I wouldn't. Okay. A little bit of that. Wondering why this is green. Usually means that there's 2 parts. Oh yeah. So I think I have, yeah. Again, I did the same thing where I wanted a little bit of depth of field, and it's just like, it sort of works. It's just a little bit more taxing to have it be, have things blurred in 3D. So I went and added a blurriness, fast blur inside of Premiere. So that makes it a little bit like 5% blurred. So if I go too far, that's what it does. So I just added that tiny little blur. So as she gets up, the camera actually switches from being focusing on like the background in the sky to then Derpy's in the out of focus, and then she slowly becomes in focus. So I keyframed that to be like that. And the background focuses shift, and then and she's like, yeah. Wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Remember to add calculation and all your credits as your mods in your process, please. Yeah, I guess part 5 isn't uploaded yet, so I could add that in. Would that be like consultants or like what would you guys like to be called as a credits title? Otherwise I'll just be, you know, just your names and not really, you know, have any titles or anything. And then it fades out. Hopefully. There you go. And the ink card. Yeah. So in here, I have room for created by. I have to credit the Cats and Musical and Entertainer. I'd used a couple of those things. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, in case anything happens, I don't know. And the outside sources stuff. And then the copyrights for the other characters. Just moderators. I want to be somewhat specific then. Because moderators just sounds like you moderated me in a sense. Like you were dictating, like you were the directors or something. I don't know. It could be spun around into something, yeah, a little bit more. Spun it in some way. In a combined movie. Okay. I got you then. Yeah, I can do that. Now I got this on video and record, so I can I'll definitely make that happen. Thank you. And oh yeah, we finished this or whatever. Yeah, for this one, I'll maybe on Thursday I can like post this on Twitter and then say like, hey look, I made a little thing, haha. And then Twitter should have audio. I think, right? Yeah, it's been so long. And then post it on there. See if the bit rate isn't too much for this video. It's pretty short. It's 10 seconds, so it should be fine, right? It's been longer videos. So yeah, I think we're good on here. Alrighty. Thank you guys for the enormous help of all of this stuff and definitely doing the Mad Libs of figuring out exactly what this story is. And this story was completely, you know, moderated by you guys. I mean, you guys really Figured out this entire story. We even figured out from way back from figuring out what even characters you wanted. Remember that? We figured out like what kind of characters we wanted. Wanted 2 characters, and we got these 2 characters, and then we decided the story with the cool rock, and then worked out from there. Thank you guys. Couldn't have made this exact story about you. Now it's done. It's awesome. Thank you guys. Poosh. Alrighty. Let's go to toast time. A little bit late for that, but I think that's okay. Doop boop boop. There you go. Look at all that art. Let me get some water. And I'll talk about other stuff, I guess. Let's see. I kind of messed up on that. About the Let's Plays and other stuff that's going on. Yeah, so I had plans for like at least the next couple weeks for like what kind of streams I want to do. There's a I know what I want to do, and October is the Inktober. So I wanted to do something for that. I have something different I want to do. I'm a little bit actually kind of tired of doing Inktober. Doing it by the book of like using the official guide. So I want to do something a little bit different while still doing traditional stuff. I want to do traditional stuff, but I don't want to be like hand-holded into make something that's ghoulish. And it's like, I don't want to do that. Like it like takes like a half hour or more to even think of like the idea that I want to do. And it's like, And then it takes like, who knows how long, like 40 minutes to then draw it. So it's like, I don't want to spend that much time on it. If I could just do something more fun and do something that I want to do. It's weird and selfish, but I have tried to do the Inktober a couple times. The ones I have been doing have been very verbatim and trying to do my best at trying to do it. Because there was that one where I just did Derpy 30 days in a row. There was one where I did try to do every day. So, yeah, wanted to try and do that. It is fun, but I don't know. I'm honestly kind of getting bored of trying to figure out like what I want to do for it. It just takes so long to figure out what I want to do for it each day. It's like I'd rather just jump in and do something rather than going, what can I do for this word? I don't know. There's always the pressure of making sure you're not like directly copying someone else, or like even if some generic word is like, you're gonna probably think of some other like pop culture stuff, or like frog, and then you draw Kermit the Frog, and then you look on Twitter and see like, oh look, someone else drew Kermit, and it's like, oh. Oh well. Yeah. Let's see. Let me get through this. I want to talk with them to make sure that they're all happy with that. But that's a good idea. Yeah, let's put that. Where can everyone see that? Probably put that in the Discord somewhere. Star. That was Culture Cookie. Find a good channel to put that in to make sure everyone agrees on that. I just want to make sure, Let's see. And is Inktober doing with copyright stuff? Not exactly. It is if you want to. That's the thing. Inktober is more generic, more verbs, adjectives, kind of random words, like, see if I can even pull out Inktober from like 2019 or something. What was the prop list? It was poisonous, cruel, weak, angular, swollen, bottle. So those aren't quite copyrighted materially kind of words, Precious, flowing, tranquil, roasted, spell, so guarded. So those are kind of like inspirational words to like kind of get you going and like, let me think of angular or swollen and go, let's see. Kind of the stuff. And then you kind of go from there. And if you want to think of a copyrighted character or whatever that fits that, then I guess that's kind of close. Let's see. Ready to get in trouble? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm thinking I want to do something a little bit different, but still trying to do the traditional stuff and keep that alive, I guess. Yeah, just putting copyrighted autofills to scandal. Oh, jeez. Yeah, let's look into that then. Controversy. Moving's over. There's so many people that did it though. It's kind of a shame then. Has been hijacked by the creator of Inktober himself. He decided to protect his property by choosing to copyright Inktober. The event split the art community in half. Okay, so he tried to copyright. Yeah. He registered Inktober as a trademark in 2019. That's a subjob, but the logo was not. Okay, so it gets a little more complicated. Okay. Yeah, that's yeah, so I'll probably do something more traditional and just try and draw something and then have fun with that. I think I want to do something like animation related. I want to do like maybe do like 30 pages so I can get like a second's worth of animation and get something kind of fun with that. So like each day I draw like a separate picture and then put it together and like do like a flip book one day at a time kind of a thing. So I can still be traditional and have fun with that, but actually use my animation tools, like my legit real physical tools that I have, and play with that. So I've been kind of having that, but definitely not actually doing Inktober per se, but still doing like the one a day draw kind of a thing. So it's sort of there. That was the plan. Yeah. It's plagiarized somehow. Yeah, I'll have to dig a little deeper than what I did just then. Find out the full story. Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking of doing that. Maybe just like one stream of it, like the first. So like next week, do like one stream of that and then do something else. I was also thinking of doing a stream. I had this like almost a month worth of streams planned out, so that's why I'm like, I don't know if I want to do your ideas quite yet and feel like I don't want to deny them, but also I don't really, it's going to be a while till I get to them, so that's why I'm like, yeah. With the Power Smart 2 and Cintiq phone or whatever. I always read it as garlic phone, so I don't know. I always got confused. After that, after the Inktober, pseudo Inktober thing, I want to do 3D animation. I've downloaded a couple Community G4 characters that are like fully rigged and have very nice controls and FKs and IKs and everything. So it's like, want to play around with that, and haven't really messed. I've done like one really, really short test, but I think it'd be fun to do a little Mad Libs kind of style thing where we do the same thing, where it's like, hey, what should this horny pony do? And then like do one verb kind of thing and be like, wow, that was fun. Kind of thing. Hopefully be more entertaining than that, but yeah, because I've had a lot of 3D experience, but I never really played with fully rigged models. I don't know. I've always done what you saw in the movie chapters and stuff, where it's kind of like it's a trash can. It has one bone, and I didn't really need the bone, as I could just translate it and rotate it and whatever, and didn't really need a bone into it. I didn't really like use any kind of bendiness or any kind of like weight painting to make it more actual bend in some way. So yeah, I want to do some actual fully rigged character model animation. I think that'd be fun. Just because, yeah, I've never really done that. I've done 3D, obviously, but just not quite that section yet. And that Bob Ross really inspired me to like explore and do other stuff, so I think that'd be fun as well to learn more stuff. I'm just absorbing every facet of entertainment production as I can. Let's see. Yeah, so it'll just be another new form or new dimension to these Mad Libs animations, or try to do something like that. Only problem is that I have to be really careful with how I want to make sure that I credit the person who created the 3D models and rigged them. They had some special rules for how they want to have them portrayed and everything. So it is like, yeah, I'll just like read them again to make sure, but it's like, yeah, make sure that they're not used for profit and not like make sure they credit the person. I have to remember what their name is, so I'm not going to say it now because I don't want to mess up and say the wrong person's name. And yeah, so I'll have to jump through some hoops if I want to do it. So kind of delaying it a little bit until I have to worry about it till then. So and then after that, we can start to then consider the other options like the Parse Part 2 kind of games, which are definitely not, I'm not like opposed to, but also like, I don't know how much more entertainment I can get from using a software that's kind of like boxing me into certain creative decisions, you know. Oh yeah, Zoom Boom, speaking of, in no way has a new version that came out like a couple weeks ago, and I've recently learned that they really getting really giggy, that they added nodes that basically replicate how symbols work in Flash. It's not one-to-one, but it has like the looping functionality, so you can like have a node and say, hey, loop frame 1 through frame 5 over this amount of duration and stop at this frame and have all these other extra things. So it's like, wow. They basically just, you know, completely destroyed Flash. That was like the one thing that was missing from Toon Boom, and something that I've had to like learn and go, okay, I can't really do exactly the way that I've been animating in Flash all this time now. So it's like, now it's like, oh boy. Like I can start doing it like that. Like I can animate in Toon Boom the way that I animate in Flash now, and it's like, wow. So I'm really excited that they didn't really put that in the big heading and everything. They didn't put that in the on lights to say that. So thank you, Matt the Rock. Thank you for joining. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you. Here's the thing: we decided to choose our own choice of the field. We're great because of being restricted. I don't know. You definitely become creative with less stuff or less tools. But also become like a little bit, I don't know. At least for me, I get a little more frustrated that it's like, I want to do this, but I literally can't. And so it's like, well, I want to make a square, but all I got is a rectangle tool. So I guess I gotta, instead of making a square, I'm going to make a rectangle, and then I'm going to have to use a scale tool that might also be kind of complicated, and jump through a couple other hoops to like make sure that the scale is also kind of set up, and then kind of make sure that the angles are then correctly anglified, and then boop, now I got a square. It's like, ah. So those kind of stuff is like, can't I just have a square button? You know, those kind of points. You know, it's like, oh, either, yeah, I can make a, you know, a 5-pointed star or an 8-pointed star on my own, or I get a tool that can like make a 12-pointed star, you know, boof, like a stamp, and just be like done, you know. Or I can spend like a half hour trying to mathematically figure it out, you know. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. When you got to make more mathematical perfect stuff for whatever reason, it's like, yeah, I feel like I want to go with something that's can create it mathematically correct rather than me trying to fumble around and not have guides and everything. You know, we have tools for a reason. We have computers for a reason. Kind of stuff as well. So, yeah. So it's good to have those advancements so then we can focus on other aspects, you know, stuff like with the lip sync and stuff. It's like, well, yeah, I can either spend every time a character opens their mouth, I can draw that face open, or I can make that into a stamp or a template and go, here's my open face mouth, and then I can just place that in. And then I can spend time, instead of spending like 50 hours to create that same drawing every single time, I can then spend that time instead to create new assets and new stuff. So that's what I'm saying as well. So, so yeah. Let's see. Doesn't ever not as yes. Whatever. Simple to not confuse people. I suppose, yeah. It's just it's hard to make that kind of game though. I've never personally played it, but I've seen people play it on videos. So, it's with Passepartout, like Starbonauters or something. And then they made a sequel. So, for non-artists, I would say that's a really good jumping off point. It was just for me not to feel like, oh, I have all these tools, I know what I'm doing, I need these extra things to just spend more time on other stuff, you know. Just getting into the bare bones, whatever kind of tools, like a brush, is like, there's so much complexity that you can have with a brush that's like, without those, and it's like, oh, I have either a pencil or a crayon option, then it's like, oh, well, now I can't do a felt tip brush. You know, what if I wanted that? You know, kind of stuff. So it's like, well, I'd rather just have like either someone from like the chat give me some random words and I could just draw that and draw it however I like, you know. But as a game, as what you're saying, it's like that's perfect for those kind of people. It's just for me as a weird kind of like situation that's like I'm intermediate to expert level in art, that's like I feel weird in not having all my special tools. That's also kind of it too. So, but yeah, for non-artists, great, do it. Just do fun games, and especially the art stuff is really fun. I just haven't played with it to know exactly just how complicated it is. Can you like mix different colors together? Like, is there like a watercolor kind of feature where you can, you know, mix two colors together and get yellow and blue, and you only have primary colors, so you can have to like mix different colors and get blue and yellow, and then you get a green and unlock green and go, wow, you know, that'd be fun. But if it's what I've seen, where it's literally just like, you have a blank canvas and it's like, draws something, and it's like, oh, okay, you know, it's you get as far as how creative you are, you know, without any anything really telling you like, draw something that would make, you know, something as vague as draw something that makes you happy. It's like, oh, okay, I could draw that. But if it's not really saying anything, then it's like you're gonna play for like a half hour and go, wow, that was fun, and then kind of forget about it. You know what I mean? If it's not like mission modes or anything kind of like, it feels like a mission mode in a sense that's like you're trying to draw something that appeals to someone, and it's like you don't really have to expertise to like know who you're really selling it for, and it's like it gets more complicated than just being like, I want to draw something, and just you could just open up paint and do the exact same thing at that point, you know. So let's see though. I don't even know where I'm going with any of that, but yeah. Let's see though. I think I should probably wrap this up before I even break my brain even more. Yeah. Have fun with whatever you do. Yeah. That's it. I've been so tired after marathoning for so long, and I'm still working, you know. Still working on the movie, still working on chapter 5. Let me get some water. So I'm trying to finish that up. If I work really hard and really long today, I can probably actually upload it and at least schedule it for tomorrow morning. So usual time that I like to upload videos is around 9 a.m. PST. So that'd be 12 p.m. EST. So that'll be usually about when I do that, get it uploaded. So if it's not up by that time, then either YouTube broke or whatever, or I didn't upload it at that time and just couldn't finish it, and I'll probably have some sort of delay message or something. I don't know what I'll do. But if I don't get it by tomorrow, then I'll definitely try and get it done whenever it's ready, I guess. Then, you know, I'm trying to force it, trying to get it done to get it done before the G5 movie. That was the whole point, was to try and get my Chapter 5 done before G5 premieres, but apparently it's already premiered in other countries and people have already seen it, and people already got special access to watch it now already, so it's kind of like, oh, well. It's out before the, you know, quote, official Netflix date, so, oh, well. It'll just be in this weird void of being close to when it's supposed to happen. Anyway, then I guess I'll do it whenever it's ready, and hopefully my next day will probably be, if I don't get it tomorrow morning, then I'll probably get it uploaded by Sunday. I think that'll be hopefully pretty good time. I feel like I'm like 90% done. I went back when done with it to get it ready. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good night. And see you on Thursday. Thank you. We'll work on something. Didn't quite explain what we're doing on Thursday. Wanted to do an art stream where we draw G5 characters. Maybe like vote on like one character and I can draw one really good. Yeah. They'll be able to use like Photoshop and get all the Photoshop tools. Yeah. Look out for that. Thank you. So either I work really hard today, get it done for Wednesday morning, and then that'll be done. Or I realize that, man, I'm over my head and just, you know, becomes like 1 a.m. or something. I'm like, I'm not done yet. And then I'll probably have to then delay it. So we'll see. I'll probably be too tired by then to say it in time. To say like, whoops, that didn't happen. Oh well. So, but yeah. I think I'll wrap up the stream and then I'll go back onto it and get back in the horse to finish that up as best I can today and do my best. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'll wrap it up then. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone who's still here, I guess. Hope this was fun. And we finished the cartoon. We finished the G5 stream animation cartoon thing that we did. Thank you so much. I'm so tired. I'm sorry. This stream was it was good. But yeah, a little loopy. I don't know if you can tell, we got more loopy this time. Got weird, more it's like hangry, but also kind of just grouchy. I'm so tired. Gotta keep going. Little stretch. Little 1 more mile. You know. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all the support. And thank you for watching my stuff. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Yeah. So maybe get a video tomorrow, and then I get a stream on Thursday. So yeah. Thank you guys. Bye guys. Bye bye. Yay. Alrighty.